Okay, so we are going to be talking about Unit 3.2, Standard Forms of Quadratic Equations. So the standard form, you guys, is actually what is given to us down here. But before we get into that, let's try our warm-up. So our warm-up for here is we are asked to find the y-intercept of f of x. Now, in this lesson, I want to so bad to take us over here to Desmos. However, for this lesson, no calculator. So, no calculator. We can use a calculator at the end in order to check ourselves, but for today we can use for today no calculator. So let's find the y-intercept of f of x. Now the y-intercept is when x equals 0. So all I have to do is think of, okay, when f of 0 is equal to, so I'm going to plug in a 0 for every x value. And then you'll see how easy this can actually be. So 0 squared minus 5 times 0 plus 2. Alrighty guys, here we have 0 times 0. Well, that just turns into a 0. Minus 5 times 0 is 0 plus 2. Well, those go away. And we're left with f of 0 is equal to 2. So in this case, it is 0, 2. And that is our y-intercept. Not bad. Alrighty. Next thing that we're going to be talking about is our standard form. So our standard form here is ax squared plus bx plus c. So here's our first example to where every single number a, b, and c coincides with one of these coefficients. So a, for example, represents negative 3, b represents 7, and c represents negative 4 since we have a negative. Alright, so this is how we are going to be pulling our values from our equation. Alrighty, next, in order for us to be able to graph these equations here without a calculator, we're going to need to find the vertex, the axis of symmetry, and doing a couple other things. So let's follow our steps here. So step 1, find the axis of symmetry using our formula h is equal to negative b, or the opposite of b, divided by 2a. So first, let's identify what our a, b, and c are. So we have a, b, and c. A in this case is just this 1 right here, so it's a 1. My b is negative 6, and my c is negative 4. Is this going to open up or down? Alrighty, guys, let's make some rules here off to the side. If a is positive, if a is positive, it opens up. If a is negative, it opens down. So take a look at our a value right here. It is a positive 1, so it opens up since a is equal to 1. For our axis of symmetry, we are going to say h is equal to, we are going to use this formula right here. Let's go ahead and mark that, actually. Perfect. So we have h is equal to the opposite of b divided by 2a. Well, h is equal to the opposite of b, you guys, is this right here. Well, what's the opposite of negative 6? Positive 6. And then 2a is just that right there, so it's going to be 2 parentheses a. And that's just equal to 6 over 2, which is equal to 3. So in this case, my h is equal to 3. Or my axis of symmetry is x is equal to 3. Now guys, I do also want to say something. My axis of symmetry is also the x value. It is the x value of my vertex. So, in order for us to find the vertex, we are going to take what my x value equals. And in this case, it is 3. So it's going to be y is equal to, here's my function, x squared minus 6x minus 4. And I'm going to plug in a 3 anywhere there is a x. So y is equal to 3 squared minus 6 parentheses 3 minus 4. 3 squared is just going to give me 9. Minus 6 times 3 is 18. Minus 4. And y is equal to, this simplified down to 13. So my vertex is going to be 3, negative 13. And there's my vertex. Alright, let's give this one a shot. Also, I want to make a small edit. This should be minus 4 right here. Alright, so we have an A, a B, a C. My A value is, well, this value, B and C. So my A is going to be negative 1, B is going to be 8, and C is going to be negative 4. Is it going to open up or down? Well, my A value is negative, so therefore A is negative 1, so it opens down. My axis of symmetry is going to be this right here. So H is equal to opposite of B over 2A. So H is equal to, my B in this case is positive 8. What's the opposite of positive 8? Negative 8. And my 2A is, well, here's my A right here, so it's going to be 2, parentheses, negative 1. That's going to be negative 8 over negative 2, which is going to give me 4. So, from here, x is equal to 4. I'm going to plug this back in over here, so it's going to be y is equal to negative x squared plus 8x minus 4. Plug that in, so plug in a 4 anywhere there's an x. So it's going to be negative parentheses 4 squared plus 8 parentheses 4 minus 4. If I work this out, y is equal to 4 squared is 16. It turns into negative 16 plus 32 minus 4. 16 and 4 gives me 20, and this turns into 12. So the answer that I get is 4, 12. And that is my vertex. And this one up here as well is my vertex. Alrighty. Next piece. Guys, we are going to graph this without a calculator, remember. No calculators. So let's give this a shot. So we have my A value, B value, C value. My A is going to be 1, negative 4, and 1. Is this opening up or down? In this case, my A value is positive, so it's going to be opening up. We need to find the axis of symmetry. That's going to be H is equal to opposite of B over 2A. Well, the B value that I have is negative 4. What's the opposite of negative 4? Positive 4. And we have 2 parentheses 1. So we have 4 over 2, or just 2. So we have x is equal to 2. In order to find the vertex, I need to plug in, so plug in, make a star, plug in our x value. So back to my original equation, I have x squared minus 4x plus 1. The x value that I got is x is equal to 2. So here's our function. So f of 2 is equal to 2 parentheses squared minus 4 parentheses squared is 2. 4 parentheses 2 plus 1. 2 squared is going to give me 4 minus 8 plus 1. And then this right here, you guys, is going to give me f of 2 is equal to negative 3. So then my answer that I get is 2, negative 3. And this is my vertex. So let's plug this in. So we have 1, 2, down 3. Gives me this point right here. Now guys, I can actually find my y-intercepts. So with my equation, y equals x squared minus 4x plus 1. I'm going to plug in a 0 for x, so make another star when x equals 0. So we have y is equal to 0 squared minus 4 times 0 plus 1. Y is just equal to 1. So my coordinates is 0, 1. Let's plug that in. 0, 1. Now if I were to plot my axis of symmetry, here's my axis of symmetry right here. Now, if I take, so I found my y-intercept. Now, something that's interesting is, since this is my axis of symmetry right here, that means that it is perfectly reflected onto the other side. Meaning, I have another point over here on this side. So from there, I can plot these and plot this. Ooh, that's a bad. There we go. And there is our graph. My domain in this case is going to be all real numbers. And my range is how far down does this go? Well, it goes all the way down to 1, 2, 3. In this case, it's -3, infinity. All right, let's take a look. My a value in this case is -1/2. My b value is 6, and my c value is -9. This is a negative a value, so it's going to open down. To find the axis of symmetry, that is going to be h is equal to the opposite of b over 2a, which is going to be -6 over 2 times -1/2. And then that's going to be -6 over -1. And that's just going to give me, well, +6. So in this case, x is equal to 6. And this, guys, is my axis of symmetry. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's my axis of symmetry. Now to find my vertex, it is going to be f of 6. And here's my function again. It's -1/2 x squared plus 6x minus 9. We're going to plug in this 6 for every x that I have here. So f of 6 is equal to -1/2 6 squared plus 6 times 6 minus 9. 6 squared is just going to give me 36, so we have -1/2 times 36 plus 36 minus 9. This right here is going to give me -18 plus 36 minus 9. Well, these two here, you guys, are going to combine to give me -27 plus 36. Well, that is going to give me +9. So f of 6 is equal to +9. So 6, 9, excuse me, is going to be my vertex. Alrighty, so here's 6 right here. Let's go up 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again, guys, this is going down. Alrighty, let's find my y-intercept. So here's one of my points. I need a second point. So my y-intercept in this case is when x equals 0. So we have f of x. This is my function again. -1/2 x squared plus 6x minus 9. F of 0 is equal to -1/2 times 0 squared plus 6 times 0 minus 9. Guys, this turns into 0 plus 0 minus 9, which just turns into negative 9. So my y-intercept is 0, comma, negative 9. And this right here is my y-intercept. And this right here is my vertex. I already talked about it. So 0, negative 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Alrighty. Now you guys, I have this half of my graph. Whoops. I have this half of my graph. Now I need to find the other half of my graph. Well, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I go 6 over, I need to go 6 to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here is the other half of my graph. Alrighty. Ooh, so close. Sorry, guys. There we go. Alrighty. Last thing, my domain. How far left is this thing going? How far right is this thing going? Well, it goes to all row numbers. Or if you want to think about it as negative infinity to positive infinity, you're good. And then my range. How high up does this go? Well, it goes up to this point right here. So it has a maximum height of 9. So in this case, it goes up to 9 and then down to negative infinity. Alrighty, guys. This was notes without a calculator. It was a lot of calculating that we had to do. Tomorrow in class, or I'm sorry, I will actually be y'all's calculator whenever we do get to this. Now, to use simple calculations and everything like that, in order to do the calculations right here, you definitely can use a calculator. However, we are not graphing, so maybe I should say no graphing on your calculator. Alrighty, guys. Hope you have a great day. Take care.